Welcome back to Crypto Gains for another video. I want to show you what I see in the charts, show you what I think is going to happen with the crypto space. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Are you shook of what's been happening? Let me show you what I see. This is not financial advice, educational purposes. I've got Bitcoin on the 3-day time frame. By the way, I will be bringing several videos over the coming days on charts because this isn't just the only chart that I want to show you. I think there's a lot of important charts that we need to check. Things like this, which is the Gaussian channel. What's this? I got this chart here, which is a bunch of moving averages on the weekly time frame. I want to talk about so many different things. I got things like the altcoins as well on the total free, but I'm going to start with this one here. Right? So this is stick around, like and subscribe. You're going to get some good in-depth understanding over the market and where my headspace is at and what I feel will happen in the future. So this is the 3-day time frame. I've got two moving averages, right? I got the 100 moving average and I got the simple average, moving average, and I got the 200. Not many influencers show you this on the 3-day time frame, but you can see a nice clean picture. We're in a bear market when price action is down. We're at the bottom of the bear market. We break up, we break this green line, and then we start to hold it as support. We bounce off it, right? You see, even if we come up to this red line, we fall down, we bounce off it. Once we get above the red line, things are kind of good. It's bullish, but all the time, if we ever see price action fall, we bounce off it, bounce off it. The only time we see candles print inside or underneath it is when we have confirmation of weakness in the market where the trend may reverse in the future. So this is an example. We had a massive collapse here. We started to see candles underneath. I'm looking for at least 3 candles underneath, 3 confirmed bodied candles. So here's an example. You have one here and then it comes back up, right? And then it comes back down. Here, look, 1, 2, 3, 4. I want at least 3 confirmed body candles underneath this green line. That tells me that the trend may be weak, that we may be coming to an end. And usually once you see about 3 or 4 candles, you usually see a massive rally afterwards, which if you look at this yellow price range, if you look at this little thing I've done here, that goes from the bottom of this wick here all the way to the top. That was 139% pump that happened after we saw at least 3 candles in here. Fell a bit lower, then we saw a massive rally up that called another high for Bitcoin. Let me show you the past, right? And real quick, once we break this green line, if we come down to this red line and then we hover and then we break it again, you're going to see disgusting drops of at least 40 to 50% in the market, right? This happens all the time when we break the green line. You can be above it after a bull market, like rally up massively. Once you come back down and you come underneath and we see at least 3 candles, 1, 2, 3, that's enough for me. 3 or 4 candles is enough for me to say, right, I'm going to be at some point expecting some form of a rally. So, we make our low here and then we rally up. This rally from right down here to here was 62% pump. Yeah. So, and then obviously after that, we see the prices fall down. Let me show you another one. So we got this one right here. When you see a massive rally up, we bounce down, we bounce off the green line, we finally break it. Take a look at this right here. We got 3 candles, 1, 2, 3, and if you want, the 4th one kind of brings you back out. But those 3 was sort of like a confirmation that we're now going to see a final rally before things come collapsing down. You can see my yellow price range here from the bottom to here all the way up to here was about a 52% price pump upwards. So what am I trying to get at? I'm trying to get at that if we've seen the top of the market and it's now weak, I'm expecting at the worst case, like I'm preparing myself for price action to come below this green line and to see at least 3 bodied candles. And remember, this is the 3-day time frame. So I'm talking 9 days worth of price action underneath the green line, 3, 6, 9. If I get 3 candles underneath, bodied candle closures, then I might have to rethink my strategy, because that's telling me that the market really is, you've seen the top, especially for Bitcoin, and that we will see one final rally. So if we see 3 bodied candles, I'm not just going to sell. I'm going to wait for that rally, because I believe there will be this rally that we keep seeing. Look, let me show you again. It always happens when we break the green line. So let me come back further. Look at this one right here. This goes right back to 2014. Right, so look, we've got some candles that finally break this green line. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, loads of them, but 3 to 4 is enough for me. to let me know that there's going to be a massive move up, another big rally before things come and finish, which is what we saw here. A massive rally up, 62% move. There's your, my yellow price range. And then obviously after that, it just all comes collapsing down. It's the same pattern that we see all the time on this 3-day time frame with these 2 moving averages. It's when it's in a bull market, it's perfect. Look, it's flawless. It just comes and it bounces off this green line. In this case, it was hovering off the green line. It's always perfect in a bull run. It's when it breaks this green line we start to see problems. Same here, look, 2020 cycle, look, comes above after the 19 event, holds above it, and then it just floats. Massive gap between the green line. Again, when you break it, that's your sign that we're going to see a final pump before the dump. And that's what I'm looking for. So here we are today, and let me tell you what this represents. There's a few scenarios that could play out, and I want to bring different perspectives on what scenarios could play out. The best scenario is that Bitcoin never ever breaks this green line. Because if it doesn't break this green line, and it does what it's been doing all the other times, it will simply just, bounce off it, make another high, and just keep bouncing off it. And who knows, maybe it could be a longer bull run than what people expected. But if we see bodied candles come underneath, I've marked it sort of between this green line and the red line, sort of halfway. That's what these yellow ranges are here. You see them? That's what these yellow ranges are here. I've marked it because I tried to give an example of what's happened in the past. When it does break it, it tends to sort of come halfway between the red and the green, right? Sort of ish. So I thought, if it did break it, how low would it go? What's sort of like the lowest sort of case it could come? Maybe it'll come halfway, and that's where I've marked this here, the bottom. So let me do a line. That was this first one here, right? I'll get rid of it so you can. So I just wanted to show you. If it was to come sort of there, and then we saw similar rallies to like what we saw before, meaning that, I know that one says 139, but are they all going to do 139% moves? I don't know. This was a 60% pump. That was a 52% rally. This was a 62% rally. So on average, we're getting 40 to 50 or 50 to 60% rallies. So let's say on the bearish case, we do see price action break this green line and come down to around about here. If we then saw a 50% move up, this is the price where it would put Bitcoin. A 50% move up puts Bitcoin about $140,000. If it was to go up to a 60% move up, sort of like what it did in the past, it puts Bitcoin about $149,000. So I've got this gold range, anything from $140,000 to $150,000. We could see that for Bitcoin, and that could shock a lot of people. Because right now the market's dull and dead. Everyone thinks market's going down. Everyone thinks the market's going to collapse. Everyone thinks Bitcoin's done and it's over. But there could be a chance in the future that we could see Bitcoin come up and do one last high. And as that's doing that, you see altcoins go absolutely crazy. And this is, these are the things I'm presenting to you, right? If it went down to this red line, because we've seen it come down to the red line once and then bounce off it. Let me find that scenario where it came down to the red. I think it was this one here, the 19, just before the 19 event. See here, we broke the candle, this green line, and the candles broke it. We came down, we tested this red line. We had multiple candles underneath this green line. And then we came up in the 19 event. If we was to come down to this red line, and then we see a 50% move up. That's what these two represent here. So the same thing, 50 and 60%, 50% and 60%. So I've drawn two sort of zones. If price actions fall down to this red line, which is about $86,000, and then we saw a massive 50% rally, 60% rally, I think we would go as high as this green zone here. I don't think we'll go any higher. And that puts it at 130,000 to 137,000. You know what? That's crazy, because both of these entail that Bitcoin could still reach a new all-time high, higher than what it's been so far. But we will see what happens. I just wanted to present this to you guys. Hopefully it leaves you with a different perspective on the market. Even though we've seen disgusting drops, disgusting downfalls in all of the market, right now, it seems dull and terrible. Look at the structure. Actually, what have we got? We've just got a situation where Bitcoin's just come back to this green line, bounced off it in the past, bounced off it for the second time in 2025, and now we're here facing it again. Maybe it's not as bad as what people think. I'm going to leave it here. Stick around, like and subscribe. I'm going to be showing you some of the charts, and I think it's important that I break them down individually so you understand my mindset, right? Show you where my headspace is at and what I'm looking to do. I'm going to do this one next. Stick around, like and subscribe. You'll see it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. See you in the next video. Cheers.